Trigger warning. If you have misophonia, some things in this video may be a problem. If you have misophonia, you may want to turn off the sound on this video and watch with closed captionings instead. This video is the first part of a series, so be sure to check out the other videos too. What's up, guys? Theheartyaerie here, and today we're gonna talk about misophonia. What's that? Misophonia is defined as the hatred of sound. It is also known as 4S or Selective Sound Sensitivity Syndrome. Now, there's a lot of information out there about the basics of what misophonia is, about how it's the hatred of sound. Literally translate the word miso is hate, and phonia is sound, so the hatred of sound. But there's not really a whole lot about the details of misophonia. There's just that basic knowledge about how chewing sounds and breathing sounds and tapping your pen types of sounds can cause somebody to go into like a rage type situation. It's the basic information. There's more in it than that. I don't think anybody really knows whether it's a psychological or a neurological condition, or it might be a mixture of both, but it is a condition that has no cure, and there's not really a known way to treat it. You can treat it, but different people have different ways of doing it, so there's not like a one specific way, and there's not really a whole lot of research on selective sound sensitivity syndrome, and so there's not a whole lot of information out there. But the basic is that there are certain sounds that are triggering to people who have misophonia that will annoy the crap out of them. And yeah, those sounds are annoying to other people who don't have misophonia if it's prolonged and you're just like, shut up. But with misophonia, it's a little bit different in the sense of it actually causes people to get angry, not just annoyed. It usually starts out as annoyance and then escalates to anger. And it's more likely to trigger somebody who has misophonia if you are aware that that sound bothers them and you do it anyways. They're more likely to trigger into rage faster. So if you know somebody's trigger sound, then something that you can do is not do that sound, or try to not do that sound as much as you can around them, because you're doing that is going to trigger them. Now, for each person with misophonia, it is a different trigger. Some people have multiple triggers, some people only have one trigger, some people only have a few, and it typically will get worse as you get older. And so if you know somebody who has misophonia and you knew they had it when you were in high school, but now you're in college or beyond, and you know that certain sounds bother them, well, there's more likely that now they have more sounds that bother them, or those sounds bother them a lot quicker. So that's something to be aware of. So somebody who has misophonia cannot help that they get angry. They cannot help that they trigger. However, people with misophonia who are aware of their misophonia are less likely to rage as quickly than somebody who is unaware, because if you're unaware that you have it, then you don't really know that you need to try not to get angry so quickly, whereas when you do know, you are aware, then you are able to put things into place that will help you not trigger as quickly or as intensely. So now we're going to talk about some of the sounds that trigger people. Slurping, tapping your pencil, breathing certain ways, the click before you open your mouth, like some people do that really loudly. Drinking, the sound of swallowing, popping your gum, cracking your knuckles, chewing loudly specifically, and then that tapping sound, that tapping your pencil sound. And anything that's repetitive. So there are certain songs that will actually trigger people with misophonia. What was the show I was watching? There was a show, some law show. But in this show, they have like that theme music whenever they're coming back from commercial or something like that. And like every fourth beat, there was like a to it, and that can be super triggering. If it's an already annoying sound and it's super repetitive, that can be very, very triggering. Now I'm not saying that music triggers people, because for the most part I've actually never heard of just music in general or playing the same song more than once in a day or something like that to be triggering. In fact, there's a lot of people who have misophonia who are in band, orchestra, and choir, and all of those things require repetitive verses and measures and notes and all of that. It's the songs and the arrangements that have one sound repetitively throughout the whole thing or throughout the whole subject, and it's usually an annoying sound. You know, if something that would be annoying without the rest of the music is the kind of thing that would trigger. So if you have beep, 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 that beep will trigger somebody who has misophonia. There are different situations that somebody won't get triggered in. So if you have a more mild or beginning stages of misophonia, it might not bother you if you're making the same sound. So if we're eating together and I'm eating loudly and you have misophonia, and you eat loudly too, it might not bother you as much. And that's something that people with misophonia often do, is they mimic. So if you're in class and somebody's tapping their pen, and then somebody else, you can tell, is kind of getting annoyed and starts tapping it too, it makes people with misophonia feel better. And if you're the one tapping your pen and then somebody is looking at you and tapping it also, or looks at you and then starts tapping, or taps at you and then looks at you, or anything like that, chances are they have misophonia and you need to shut the fuck up. And that's exactly what they're thinking. Maybe a little bit more escalated than that. But yeah, so there are sounds. Some sounds won't trigger somebody with misophonia. Some sounds won't trigger somebody with misophonia in the beginning, but then will later. So like this sound might not trigger some people, but will horribly intensifiably trigger other people who have misophonia. The sound won't trigger everybody, but will trigger some people. The heartyaerie. What?